question. Yeah.
Is it like playing the weakest character, like voicing the weakest character on Dragon Ball?
What was it, like the weakest character?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yamcha's pretty weak. Well, the only thing that makes me feel better is that there was a person weaker than Yamcha, and of course it's debatable, and that's my favorite part about it, is Tien is weaker than Yamcha. Yeah. Well, okay, the guy who plays Tien Shinhan is John Bergmeyer, and really funny, awesome guy. He and I have this joke rivalry between our characters that we like to play out sometimes when we're together, where Yamcha and Tien are combined the weakest people in Dragon Ball. And Chaozu's not even real, like, so let's not even gonna count that. Yeah, Chaozu is a Pokemon, you're right. Yeah, so I was okay with it. I think any character on Dragon Ball Z is better than no character on Dragon Ball Z, I suppose. And all the characters on Dragon Ball Z are better than some, so, yes. Ayame is giving fashion advice to Vegeta. This is the part of the Q&A where I get wound up like a toy. Oh gosh, come on, really? Let's see. Okay, it's like, oh, hi, welcome. I love your pink Batman shirt. I'm out of here. Sorry, I was looking for a restroom. That's it. It wouldn't last me. Vegeta would last about 5 minutes. He'd be like, oh, hi, Vegeta. All right, sorry about that. Where was I? Yes, you.
Alright, I heard that it was confirmed that Kai is continuing the Beast Saga.
Yes.
Do you want to make that plan for that?
It is true. The Dragon Ball Z Kai has been planned for going all the way through the Buu Saga. I think it's awesome. I know, some people it's like, okay, so what? When's season 2 of Panty and Stocking coming out? That's the same question I have too. But that's very exciting for us too. I like to see all the Dragon Ball Z people. After working with those guys for like 10 years, I'm friends with most of them. Like Eric Vale, the guy who's the voice of Trunks, he lives in my neighborhood. And I was really good friends with Damian Clark, who did Cell, and just got a text from Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey. They're just all friends of mine, so I like it when Dragon Ball Z comes back up. Yeah.
You also voiced the character Star in Comic Jumper, The Adventures of Captain Smiley.
Yeah.
Yes, you're talking about the character Star in the Adventures of Captain Smiley in Comic Jumper.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if perhaps, although you didn't do the show, I wondered if you could maybe sing the Brad theme song for the character Brad. This Star, the character had at least a major heart on Brad.
Did you guys ever play Comic Jumper? So this will be funny to like 4 people.
Play it! It's amazing.
There's a Brad song, and it was just like, that's super fun. It's Brad!
See, they're already singing it. If you guys aren't aware of it, there's a game company out of Austin. They're called Twisted Pixel, and they did a game called Splosion Man. It's a downloadable title, Xbox Live Arcade, and they did another one called Comic Jumper: The Adventures of Captain Smiley, and I played Captain Smiley and Star. And Star, like Captain Smiley was this really terrible superhero, and his comic books sucked, and that's part of the problem. Like people were throwing it away, and he needed to make extra cash, so he jumps into other comic books to help other people in other comic books to make extra money. And where his superhero emblem would be is an angry Star who hates the main character. Like, so they just bicker the entire time, like a bad married couple. And actually, Captain Smiley is kind of just my Yamcha voice, and Star is just kind of like an angry Piccolo voice. It's Brad! And there you go, there was the answer to your question. Buried it in there somewhere so no one would notice. Yes?
How would you recommend getting, sorry, hang on. How would you recommend getting into voice acting?
I would love for everyone to get into voice acting, but then that would be a problem for me. Voice acting is really tricky to get into. It's really, really hard. And even once you're in it, it's still really hard to maintain. Like there's a weird, you can actually book some roles, and then all of a sudden you're like flavor of the month for a while, and everyone wants to use you, and then after a lot of actors experience like you know, a dip in their career when they've been used a lot, and so the best thing to do as far, what I tell people as far as getting into voice acting is concerned, is just to get into acting, because it's a much broader scope. And so if you get into acting or production work or engineering or something where you can surround yourself with people who might be doing that, because honestly still the best way to do something like this is to know someone else is doing something like that and try and get into it that way, in the most polite way you possibly can, you know? But I think you can go to school for it all you want to, but honestly, if you just have to find a way to be around it as much as possible. A lot of engineers at Funimation, back in the early days, are now directors or producers and stuff like that. So audio engineering is a good way to do it. And another thing too, like voice acting, like it's been brought up several times, but the Team 4-Star guys are doing all that on their own, on the internet. It's not necessarily legal, but it's definitely awesome, and they're making a name for themselves doing that. So I really believe that in this, you know, in this next generation of people, they're not going to be as many like lucky breaks as there are people really working hard and just putting stuff out there. Because right now you can technically be a voice actor now if you want to. You just have to find someone who's an animator, and someone who can record you, and you can kind of make your own stuff. But I don't know, it's a long, I could go on the rest of the hour about how to get into voice acting. But like, catch me in a hallway or something like that, I'll tell you more about it. Who knows, maybe I'll meet your parents or something like that. All right, yes. What was it like kissing Alex Armstrong? This is the kissing of myself that's been passed down the Armstrong line for generations. Alex Louis Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist, if you guys are familiar with that show. Awesome character, super awesome. I'm really glad Brotherhood came up because he actually had more to do in it. I'm like, what? I get more episodes? Because in the original show, he was there at the beginning, and then by the end of it, he really didn't do anything at all. Like he just stood around going, yes, things are bad. Secrets about boys. I hope the boys are okay. Secret. Oh, hi. Hi, we're in the bathroom talking. That was an awkward scene with Mustang, and it's not too often that you see any show that just takes its storyline into the bathroom. Never mind, you don't know what I'm talking. You may know what I'm talking about. Yes.
The scene where you shake hands with Sig.
Yes.
How much fun was that?
Wait. Where I shake hands with who?
Armstrong shakes hands with Sig in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That means the first time when you shake hands.
That is true.
Was that the most fun you ever had?
That's a lot of fun. That was a good part in the story, honestly. I love the fact that Armstrong had a sister in Brotherhood. That was kind of awesome. And I like the fact that that sister is played by Stephanie Young, who always plays either my wife or sister or something. She's got the female equivalent to my voice, seriously. Yes, you headphones.
How many times have you been asked to quote Team 4-Star?
Every time. I'm just kidding. A lot, actually. It was a little weirder before I had known about Team 4-Star, because I didn't catch on to it immediately. So people would quote stuff. I'm like, I have no idea where they're coming up with this, but it's all the same. So something is out there. And then for a while, I started trolling people whenever they would ask me about Team 4-Star. Like, I go, Team what star? They go, it's a parody of Dragon Ball Z. It's like shorter. I'm like, oh, you mean Dragon Ball Z Kai? They go, no, it's like it's on the internet. I'm like, oh well, yeah, lots of stuff's on the internet. I mean, people go crazy trying to explain to me what Team 4-Star was. Yes, you.
What did you have to do in order to get the character
When I played Giro, Giro was actually an easy character to get a character for because I love that guy. Giro is kind of the frog version of every tough guy I've ever played, too. There's two characters who I believe I tried to kind of throw all of the other characters into, and one is Giro, who I harness stuff from all the other tough guy roles I've ever played, and plus he's a little like Yamcha at the same time when it comes to Natsumi. And the other character was Sakaki. Did you guys ever watch, what was it called? Kenichi, thank you.
Yeah.
Sakaki was like the drunk version of every martial arts guy I've ever played.
That was awesome.
He was amazing. That was a really fun show. Yes, in the back. Oh God, yeah, it hurt. Like we would have to get pumped up in order to do it. But the thing is, the best motivation to do a scream right is not to have to do it twice. So, and whenever I was directing other actors, I'd be like, okay, here's the deal. This character's about to scream for a really, 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 really long time. And it's gonna hurt a whole lot. And the thing is though, if it doesn't sound good, I'm gonna have to make you do it again. So here's the deal. You can either just blow it out now, just do it, or you can be a dork about it and give me a half-ass version of it, and then we have to do it again. So that's kind of was always my motivation. Plus, honestly, like you guys have watched Dragon Ball Z, it inspires you to kind of be that way. I think a lot of people watch it. Like a lot of people, Travis Willingham, he went to SMU, he played football, and he admitted to me one time, he was like, all right, dude, I know we're friends, and I hope this doesn't hurt our relationship, but like, man, I was in football at SMU, we used to watch that stuff in the locker rooms, man, when we were getting like suited up. I'm like, ew. And I'm not friends with him anymore, but no, it just inspires you. And as I had said earlier in the panel, I didn't know where Vegeta's story was going because I didn't have access to fan dubs. There was no internet at the time to speak of, barely an internet. Like if you waited all night, you could download a picture of something in very low quality. But yeah, there's a lot of I don't know, I got really excited as things would happen to these characters that I really liked. And throughout the series, I really became interested in what was happening to Vegeta and his stories. So when he would get mad, I'd get mad too. And boy, I took it out of the booth with me sometimes too. After work someday, I'd be like, just acting a certain way, and my friends would go, you were Vegeta today, weren't you? I'm like, yes. But yeah, like, how's it going, Chris? Fine! Anyhow, but yeah, that was a really fun show, and it's still a fun show to work on.